I was a single mother in my mid-40s, and I had just moved to a new house with my then 4-year-old son back when we were living in our hometown of Altoona, Pennsylvania. We had only been there for a few weeks when one late night there was a knock on our front door. My son was asleep on the couch, and I was still up unpacking and putting things away. I pulled the curtain aside and looked out to see a petite young woman standing and shivering on our porch. I opened the door only as far as the chain latch on the door would allow and asked her what she wanted. She said she had locked herself out of her house and asked if she could come in and use the phone. I asked her where she lived, and she described an address and a house about a block away and around the corner. Something about her story didn't seem right. She would have had to have passed at least a half of a dozen of houses, which I noticed had their porch lights on, and there was also a still operational payphone across the street. I didn't have any change to give her, and alarm bells were still going off about this. With my young son asleep in our living room, I was reluctant to let her in, but it was a chilly winter night, so I offered her a coat and my cell phone, which I handed out to her through the doorway. She took the coat and my phone, then she called somebody but walked to the other end of the porch, where I couldn't hear her. So I closed the door after telling her to put the phone in the mailbox when she was done and to bring my coat back tomorrow. She left the phone but never returned my coat. For several weeks, I got strange phone calls at all hours, people demanding to know who I was when I answered or simply hanging up. Approximately 3 months later, on the front page of Altoona's local newspaper was a picture of the young woman who had knocked at our door that night. She and 10 other suspects had been arrested in a major drug bust. I immediately got chills thinking back on that cold winter night. How she showed up in a sleeveless shirt after passing several homes in the neighborhood. I wonder what might have happened to me and my young son if I had ignored my unease and suspicions in spite of her seemingly helpless appearance.